it's Melly and I'm back today. So, the first thing I have for you guys today is a review on this book. This is The Madwoman Upstairs, and it's by Catherine Lowe. And as the last remaining, I'm going to read you what it says off the back. As the last remaining descendant of the Bronte family, Samantha Whipple is used to stirring up speculation, especially on the topic of a long-rumored, but to Samantha's knowledge, entirely non-existent Bronte estate. But when her eccentric father dies, his old copies of Charlotte, Emily, and Anne's novels begin appearing on her doorstep. Samantha starts to wonder if perhaps the alleged Bronte legacy does exist after all. With the reluctant aid of her charming but inscrutable Oxford professor, Samantha plunges into the vast literary scavenger hunt. In the process, she must untangle varying interpretations of the Bronte novels, as well as intriguing clues about the Bronte sister lives, which may directly impact her own. A fast-paced literary adventure from start to finish, The Madwoman Upstairs is a fresh, timely exploration of what happens when the great truth is in fact fiction. Okay guys, this book is called The Madwoman Upstairs, and it's by Catherine Lowe, and it's her first novel, and I think she did an excellent job. It has mystery in it. It reminds me a lot of the Agatha Christie stories. It has romance in it. It has literature in it. It has college English lit in it. It really deeply studies the Bronte family and the legacies that guys, I can't speak today, that Anne, Emily, and Charlotte left behind. And the rest of their family, of course. Their brother Bram. It talks about. It reminds me a lot of Wuthering Heights or Jane Eyre, especially Jane Eyre, and Jane Austen too, with Pride and Prejudice. Reminds me a lot of Pride and Prejudice as well. This focuses mainly on the Bronte family though, but it does have mystery, it does have excitement, it does have love, but it has that classic, like, love. That's why it reminds me, I think, a lot of Jane Eyre. Jane Eyre and Jane Austen. I always get those two mixed up, you guys. So I really suggest, if you like the Bronte family and the, Jane Austen, that you check out this book, because you will love it. Now, alert, spoiler time. Okay, you guys. So, Samantha comes to college. She comes to Oxford, which we all know is a very well-known school in the UK. I'm not exactly sure where it's located in England, but I know it's over there. And of course, over there they have rules where they frown upon you falling in love with your professor. And Sam doesn't take too kindly to those rules. In fact, she's a lot like her father. She does fall in love with her professor. And so she gets sent on this mad chase, and she doesn't actually understand that her father is taking her on a book reading literary chase to her inheritance. She actually thinks he's literally talking about her doing all this stuff, when in actuality he's talking just about her reading the books and finding the clues. And her father was not the nicest guy, you guys. He was an alcoholic. He only cared about her. He didn't care about anybody else in the world. I don't even think he really cared about her, but at the end it kind of made it seem like he did care about her. And she has this great adventure, this great chase. But yet at the same time she falls in love without it really being a romance story. Like, it doesn't focus on the romance in this book whatsoever. She really falls in love with the man her professor is. Turns out though that her professor is the son of her dad's old enemy. the other guy who wants part of the Bronte legacy, who wants to cash in on the Bronte legacy in a way. And eventually at the end of the book, everything goes awry. She gets caught by the college with her professor in the wrong way. Not a romantic way, but that's what the college claims. That's how the college makes it like. He gets asked to leave the school. They fall in love. You know, you all know the story. Boys and girls, we know the story of love. So it's traditional, like, love in that aspect. It does remind me a lot of Jane Eyre. It's forbidden love, like Jane Eyre. And of course, like, Catherine and Heathcliff and Wuthering Heights, which is by, I believe that's by Emily, if I'm not mistaken. Don't shoot me, you guys. I haven't read a lot of Bronte novels. As I said, I'm more of a Jane Austen girl. But, oh my god, this was so good, guys. I devoured this in a day and a half. Like, I devoured this book. Like, I could not put it down. It was that good. And for people who are English lit or English literary students or English lit professors even, I think you guys will really enjoy this. You will understand the author's point of view more than per se us who are just reading it for fun. This has a really deep English background, like looking into literature and the history of literature and the famous authors and what they mean and what they symbolize type of thing. So I think you guys will really enjoy this. So I hope you pick it up because it's a great read. It's an easy read. It's only 16 chapters long. And it's only about, I want to say roughly about 400 pages. If even that, maybe a little less. It's just, oh, it's so good. And Catherine Lowe did so good. And I can't wait to see what she writes next. So I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Please come back, follow, subscribe. All my links are listed below for my blogs and my other my blog where I review everything else. Sorry guys, I can't talk. As well as my social medias should be listed below. If not, you can find them in my YouTube page. Peace, love, books.